walking my dog, and I got lunch. So now we just have to do these. Um, so let's see. Here's our baseline. So we would do. Let's randomize the twist first because that's going to make the biggest difference. So we'll say our min twist strength is at like a 3, and our max is at like 24, maybe. Um, and I think what is our one? We'll do like 0.9 and 1.1 because this makes a pretty substantial difference. So we don't want to go too big of a range. Twist core strength 2 and 8. And then this 0.01, so we could do like 0.005 and like 0.03, something like that. Okay. All right. We also need to increment our selection method so that we start generating spirals. Okay, so, and then arm num points needs to be set. Disk is 50 to 150. Bulge will do 100 to 200. And for arms, we'll do 100 to 200. And then background can be fine like that. Cluster, I think, is fine like that. Uh-huh. And yeah, so let's take a look at how that pans out for our twisting. All right, let's take a peek at this after we despawn it. Go back in, see what our spiral galaxies are doing here. All right, that's a pretty good one. What about this guy? A little bit more. I want to see. I want to find one around the max twistiness. And what we might do is actually just artificially constrain it. Because I do want to see what it looks like when one has substantially more. Okay, that's a little bit more. Let's. We know what our minimum should be, so let's just set our maximum, right? And then figure out when we hit the right, like as twisty as we would want our type 1s to be. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so this is our max that we currently have set. Maybe basically like 2 orbits. I think for our type 1s, that's probably fine, but our min should probably come up just a smidge. So we're doing 16 for our max that would be considered type 1. Type 2 should have a higher max. Okay, so there's our twist. And then I think it looks pretty good. We're gonna do some work on the universe gas and like the way that works at some point, but I want to finish polishing up like the changes to the galaxy first and get those all done. And then I'll move on to basically giving the same focus generator treatment that we've been doing for the galaxy to the universe. And we'll look up like how we should model it and things like that. This looks pretty great though, so 3, huh? Okay. Let's do 2 and like 4, maybe 4. Max and min here. So this 0.3 and 0.05. Okay. So we would want this to be like 0.15 and 0.45. 45 and then 0.0025 and 0.1, something like that. And then arm clusters, min count, 64, 256, depth bias, 0.25 and 0.75 or something like that. Height ratio, coherence. This is set at a 6. I'm gonna do like 3 and 8 as our bounds for this one. Num arms is always 2 for this type. Radial base density, something between like 0.1 and 1, 1, 3, 2, 8. 12. Spread factor 0.25, 0.5. Start ratio 0.25, 0.75, maybe. Alright, so this should be realistic randomization ranges for this first type. Let's explore. Okay, nice. It's entirely different appearance, but it has similar features. Likewise, I think we also want a higher disk density for this. Disk base density. Let's do like 8 and 16. Yeah, like that. Yep, that looks great. And now we're back to this. Okay, that's it. Um, so we can clone this and start working on SB. All right, time to do the insert dance. Insert. B, 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 B. Change all these to affect the type B. Okay. For type B, um, our primary difference is our twist strength. So we go like insert like 16 to 32. And no, wrong, wrong spot. Um, 16 to 32. Uh, twist core radius can go up a smidge as well, or just a little bump. Um, this can also go up a bump. And then arm incoherence should get bumped 5 to 10 maybe. Okay, I think that's all we need here. And then we can just go return 6 from this. All right, let's check out our SBs. It's getting quicker now that we've got a bunch of templates set already that we can just kind of copy paste around. This is like one that has heavy twisting, but still just 2 arms. And then the next one is the one that can have any number of arms. Well, not any number, but it'd be like between 2 and 8. And has like the maximum amount of arm incoherence as well. Density might be a little too high there. We could bring down the density range a bit. But luckily that is centralized. So we don't have to do it for every single one, which is why we centralized it. Density. Cut 50% off the top range. Respawn this and check to see if it's still too dense. We don't want the gas to obscure like the star shape is part of the problem. So it finished. Maybe if I can click this. Okay. Despawn. Respawn. It's better. Okay. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Now, okay, we just did these bounds, and then we did SB. So we need the SB bounds we just set up, and now we're going to do SC. And I should have done this already, but whatever. No spaces, because when we copy paste these, it's easier to do our inserts without gaps. Dum 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 dum. All right, so biggest change here is that this one will have 3 to 8 arms and much higher arm incoherence. So we'll say like 6 to 12. And then, so more arms, more incoherence. The twist should be about the same as the last version. So that was, what, 16 to 32, but we could actually go a little bit lower here. 18 to 24, something like that. Okay, and now insert on. Get our season here. Aha! I think if we're gonna have more arms too, we need to raise the number of arm points for this type specifically, and maybe lower disc points. Alright, so this is SC now. Turn 7. Actually, really, really close. I think we can just copy the settings for SABC for SBA, SBB, and SBC and just change the center twist. All right. That should turn into an SBC. Maybe even come down with the max number of twists again. I might try to find the floor where we don't want to go any lower than that, and then check the twists. Yeah, let's do that. So twist for that. 4, 4. See how it looks with a 4, and then ramp that up till it looks right for the minimum, and then go find the maximum. This is gonna be sick. And then we're gonna give the same TLC to the universe generator. Like we'll give it its own generator, um, and figure out like a science-based way of doing it, and then we'll be done. This is just supposed to cover down to the star system level, and it does already. I mean, we may do some work to do like other objects that it could house at the star system level, but the thing we're most concerned with is galaxies and star systems, and we do that already. Stupid cough. I swallowed something slightly wrong, and now it's like not behaving properly. That one might just be very fragmented. Let's find one a little bit more coherent. Let's turn arm incoherence down as well. We'll do like 3 and 3 for now. That'll let us more clearly see the arm structure. And then we'll drive the arm incoherence up. Okay. Arm start ratio needs to be a lot lower for these. My arm incoherence might be a little bit high across the board, but we'll see. It might only apply when I have multiple different arms too. Okay, that's a little bit better. So 2 and 6 should be okay then here, and then um 8, 8. Let's find the max for the twist. It still looks good. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. um, but we can go higher with the twists. Like that's with 8. That's about the sweet spot. So 4, 8, 12. Despawn it, respawn it. Would we go any tighter than this? Maybe a little bit. But it's also about what we want to center around. So we'll do 4 and 16. And that should be centered. Let's see, we have a size 12. That should be centered around the 10 range. If I do 14, this is probably fine. And then bulge depth bias. Let's bring that down a smidge. Um, 200, 300. Arm depth bias. 2 and 4. Okay. And then that also means that my incoherence is probably a little bit. This is 3 and 6. 3 and 6 is probably fine, right? No, 2 and 6. Let's do 2 and 6. 2 and 6. 2 and 6. Okay. I think that covers that. And then finally, our cluster archetype. Oh, no, we got to do our bars. Oh, boy. All right, so let's go ahead and collapse the ones we visited. Caps lock. B. Nope. Caps lock. B down left. B down left. B down left. B. The only thing here is that our inner twist needs to change. Otherwise, we can use the same stats for its corresponding non-barred galaxy. Turn that off. Um, yeah, sure, O5 is fine. And then the arm start ratio should be higher. Oh, I need to find everywhere this is getting set right now. 0.5. 0.5. 0.5. These should be a little bit higher though. 3, 7. Let's do it like that. And actually, this should be like maybe 3, 5. Okay. I think everything else is the same, and then we just will go ahead and have a 0 here. Well, let's try to increment the number. Return 8. Let's take a look at some barred galaxies. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. Let's see it again. All right, great. Let's look at some others. Our twist amount needs to come down for these. From like 3 to 8, maybe. This is too twisted. It's become like a type SA instead of SBA. Okay, looks good. So far, these look pretty good. All right, let's do SBB. So we will just copy our settings from SB. Copy this. All right, I'm gonna collapse too. Collapse, 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 collapse. Keep SC. We haven't copied it yet. SBA, collapse, collapse. SBB, collapse. Bounds here. Caps lock is on. B down left. Same thing. Arm. No, no. Twist. Core strength 0, 0. Twist core radius 0. No, no, it doesn't matter. 0.01. Core strength. This doesn't matter. Twist strength stays the same. Arm start ratio 0 to 0.1. I think that was it. Back over here. Turn 9. There's only 2 left after this one. Close. Closey, closey, close, close. Alright, now we're looking at SBB, which is going to look like this. Way too much twist. So we can fix that. Twist for SBA was twist for SBA 3 to 8. Twist for SBB should be like 8 to 16 maybe. 16 might be too much. We are so fucking close. We only have 2 more to do. SBC and okay, that looks better to me. Shit. So that's SBB. Let's actually lift this one to use for SBC. And now we don't need caps lock, but we do need insert. Proceed. Should have higher incoherence and more arms. Wait, no, no. Higher twist, higher incoherence. Not higher number of arms. All the bards only get 2 arms. Okay. Um, what is our index for this one? 10 is SBC. Off 10. Only one more after this. Okay, SBC, we need to up the twist 12 to 18. We need to increase incoherence. 6 to 12, maybe. Increase the number of arm points. Decrease the number of disc points. Decrease the number of bulge points. Something like this. Alright, let's see SBCs. Discard, back over here. Respawn. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. That's not bad either. Alright. Okay. I think we're good. So next up, irregular. And that'll be closest to our bulge, our like our first one. So that's our E0 bounds. Okay, and we drop that in here. This one sucks because we have to do IRR, so I think the best way for that is to do this number. Use the mouse for this. Is there a dub for this? Hang on. Audio. English. Hell yeah. Okay, and now we just have to delete. Oops. I deleted the ag from pragma. Alright, so now, bulge and points. We can still have a bulge per se here, but it's gonna be really small. So 1,000 to 10,000 points, and maybe not even that much. 1,000 to 5,000. That's fine. And then we're gonna drastically increase background points, and we're gonna drastically increase cluster points to 2 and 400. Between 2 and 400,000, we're also going to drastically bump this up between 32 and 128 clusters. And this should be higher as well. 3 to 5, 5, 5, or like 3 to 6 maybe. Alright, let's test our last bounds here. And then we can incorporate everything that we've done together and uncomment out the code that's doing our selection of galaxy types. And we have our generation done. I mean, this is for irregular clusters. And the background density down. Background base density maybe like 5 to 10. And cluster base density 3 to 6. And bulge base density 1, 2. Incoherence needs to come down a bit. Let's do 2 to 4 here. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see some other clusters. different. Pretty fucking cool here. Alright, so. Alright. So now for the real fun part. We've done all the work. We wrote this. It's funny, like the whole class, like the actual logic is probably only, I don't know, maybe three or 400 lines. And this constructor is 300, 299 through 1359. So this is like almost 1,000 lines of code in just this constructor, but it's literally all just like setting parameter values. Okay, so we have this. Let's go over here. Let's go ahead and Control KU, comment that stuff back out, get rid of this. Let's explore our universe. All right, so that's what you would look like as a cluster, but what actually are you? So far, so good here. Let's make sure that we don't have any coherence in these clusters anymore like we used to. Yeah, this is sick. This is fucking sick. Ha ha. Okay. Ha 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 ha. So, universe still needs some work, but I think our galaxy generator's done. Hell yeah, alright. Oh yeah, dude, this is sick. And we will want to tune the overall numbers that we spawn in each one of these generators to like have a cap on how much one can make so that it doesn't slow things down. But I mean, this is looking pretty good, I think. Pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. I love this. It's so cool. Ha! There's a lot of work, but pretty fucking neat here. So now we need to basically just go clean up all the to-dos and stuff that we put in place. That's interesting. I don't know why it would error out there. All right, so check out any to-dos we have. Randomized class. Okay, we don't need this to do anymore. We did that. Can get rid of this. Cleaning, housekeeping. Can leave that. Can leave that. Can leave that. Can leave that. Okay. That's all of our to-dos. We can leave these in here. Go. I think we are done. Okay. Right, point cloud generator, and then check the header. Spiral noise. RAM factory constructor defines randomization ranges and archetypes. Generates data for populating a galaxy. The fuck? Fine, Jesus Christ. I just want the summary. I want to move this stuff above this because our real relevant pieces are actually going to be the galaxy generator and the universe generator. And once I'm done with those, I'll probably keep these pure generators that I made earlier for different types around as reference. But like they're not really going to be used because for any like pure type that we've got, it would be better to create like a wrapper around it because we may want other elements. So like the galaxy's not just a spiral; it's got other pieces. So like a supernova is not just an explosion; it's got other pieces and things like that. So I moved this here, moved it up. These look good. Param factory generator. Yep. Except, can we? I'd like these to be under. Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So now we just want to come out here. Yeah, okay, first generation's there. insert. Okay. Let's go ahead and you don't need this anymore. Don't need this. Okay. I also don't super care about any of these other generators now. Sample generate. Okay. Love it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and declare a header for our next undertaking. We'll use the exact same logic, the exact same layout that is. API. SVO API universe. We can put these in as placeholders. So we'll just comment these out when we've got them here. To build unit universe generator. All right. Implementation of param factory proc harness complete. All right, all right. So now push this. Whew, that was a big undertaking. Ban you. Get out of here, fool. Stupid bot. Get out of here, clanker. All right, we got galaxies. Lots of different types of galaxies. Um, where did it go? I missed it. I think. I think we got pretty good proceduralization harness for galaxies going on here. I mean, it's not. It's definitely something that could be refined further, but like, I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, you know what we could also do in our distortion in our um, ray marcher? We could add an invert toggle. Pretty awesome. All right, so I think that's a pretty good stopping place for right now. I might play some video games here or something. But this is super duper sick. Gosh, Taylor.